Imagine being a young boy. Your life seems ordinary. You spend your days with your family, helping around the house and learning from your father. Nothing about your future suggests that one day you will become one of the most influential men in the land. But one night, everything changes. As darkness settles over the desert and the stars fill the sky, a young boy named Yusuf falls asleep. And then he sees a dream, not an ordinary dream, a dream so extraordinary that it would shape the rest of his life. Yusuf wakes up with his heart racing. The images are still fresh in his mind. The sun, the moon, and 11 stars, all bowing down before him. Confused yet amazed, Yusuf rushes to the person he trusts most, his father, Yaqub. He says, "My father, indeed I have seen 11 stars, and the sun and the moon. I saw them prostrating to me." His father listens carefully. Yaqub is not just a loving father, he is a prophet of Allah. He understands that this dream carries a special meaning. This is not merely the imagination of a child. This is a sign, a glimpse into a future that Allah has already written. But Yaqub also understands something else. Not everyone will be happy to hear about it. He looks at Yusuf with concern and says, "My son, do not relate your vision to your brothers, or they will contrive against you a plan. Indeed, Satan is a clear enemy to mankind." Yaqub knows that Yusuf's brothers are already struggling with jealousy. Yusuf is loved deeply by his father because of his good character and gentle nature, and jealousy has a dangerous way of turning love into resentment. What Yusuf does not know is that this dream has already set events into motion. The road ahead will not be easy. There will be betrayal, separation, false accusations, loneliness, and years of hardship. But Allah is preparing him for something greater than he can imagine. Yaqub reassures his son, "And thus will your Lord choose you, and teach you the interpretation of dreams, and complete his favor upon you." The dream is not just about honor, it is about purpose. It is about a mission. It is about Allah's plan unfolding step by step. And sometimes, what appears to be the beginning of a problem is actually the beginning of Allah's greatest blessing. In the next episode, jealousy begins to grow among Yusuf's brothers, leading them to make a decision that will change their family forever. The dream had been shared, the warning had been given, but a storm was already beginning to form within Yusuf's own family. Yusuf's brothers watched from a distance. They saw the love their father had for him. They saw the way Yaqub listened to him. They saw the kindness and affection he showed him. And instead of being inspired by their younger brother's character, jealousy began to grow in their hearts. Day after day, the feeling became stronger, until one day they gathered together in secret, away from their father, away from Yusuf, and they began to speak openly. They said, "Surely Yusuf and his brother are more beloved to our father than we are, while we are a strong group." In their minds, this wasn't fair. There were many of them. They were older, stronger, more capable, yet they believed their father preferred Yusuf. What they could not see was that Yaqub's love for Yusuf was not based on favoritism. It was based on the goodness he saw in him. But jealousy has a way of blinding the heart. Soon their conversation became darker, much darker. One of them said, "Kill Yusuf, or cast him out to another land, so that your father's attention will be only for you." The words hung heavily in the air. Kill Yusuf, their own brother. The jealousy had become so severe that they were willing to destroy an innocent life. But among them was one who still had some mercy left in his heart. He spoke up, "Do not kill Yusuf. Throw him into the bottom of a well. Some travelers may pick him up." The others considered the idea. It would remove Yusuf from their lives. It would separate him from their father, and no one would know what had happened. A terrible plan had been born. Meanwhile, Yusuf knew nothing. He continued helping his father, smiling, trusting, unaware that the people closest to him were plotting against him. The dream had shown a future of honor, but before honor would come hardship, before leadership would come betrayal, and before Yusuf could rise, he would first have to fall. But what the brothers did not know was that no plan can overcome the plan of Allah. The very act they believed would erase Yusuf would become the beginning of his greatness. A terrible decision had been made, not by strangers, but by Yusuf's own brothers. While jealousy filled their hearts, Yusuf continued his days with kindness, never imagining that those closest to him were planning his downfall. He smiled, he helped his father, he trusted his family, completely unaware that every step he took was leading him closer to a trial that would change his life forever. But what the brothers did not know was that no plan can overcome the plan of Allah. The very act they believed would erase Yusuf would become the beginning of his greatness. Next time on Light with RIA, a father's heart is tested, a son's trust is betrayed, and a lonely journey into the desert begins. Will Yusuf survive what awaits him? Find out in episode 2, Thrown into the Well. Subscribe to Light with RI and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter of this remarkable story from the Qur'an.